Hey everybody, welcome to my blog here. I wanted to make a quick video to kind of tie into the blog entry that this video will be attached to. And today we're kind of just talking about some of the pitfalls that you can experience from not having access to a regular paintball shop or brick and mortar store where they really just kind of specialize in paintball equipment or gear. If you're like me, and you live in the Midwest, I live in a small town in eastern Iowa where there aren't any brick and mortar paintball specialty stores. We have a lot of sporting goods stores which have like a really limited supply of paintball equipment that's available, but they don't specialize in paintball. You can kind of fall into a lot of traps, and you can fall into a lot of gimmicky stuff that will not help you on the field at all. Also, my only really good resource for paintball equipment is purchasing online. So I shop a lot through A&S Gear or through Amazon.com, which then they promote paintball retailers through their shops and things like that. So there are just some issues that you can run into when you're in that situation like I am. The first thing that you can run into is if you think that you're going to get good gear from your bargain stores like Walmart or Dick's or Shields, where they have that limited paintball selection, you can run into a lot of problems right off the bat. I did it when I first started playing paintball. I wanted to just get out there on the field and have fun right away, and I fell into the trap of purchasing a cheap paintball mask at my local sporting goods store, and I've been regretting it ever since. Granted, it only cost me about 20 bucks, but I ended up getting one of these, and everybody's seen this thing before. This is your classic cheapo JT bottom of the line paintball mask that you can get at Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods. You can usually find them packaged with really cheap paintball markers like the BT whatever, that type of thing. It's only $20 to $25, but don't bother buying something like this. It looks like a decent mask, it has good coverage, has an adjustable strap and stuff like that, but it's just really gonna make you suffer in the long run. Especially if you get all the way out to the field, if you have to travel to get to a commercial field, or if the place where you play is out in the country and there's no stores close by, you're gonna have a bad day with something like this. My biggest gripe with a mask like this is that it's a $20 mask and it does not have a thermal coated lens, okay? Anytime you have a plastic lens like this, it's going to fog like crazy. If it's wintertime, if it's summertime, if it's fall or spring, doesn't matter. Your face is going to breathe into this. Your skin breathes, and it breathes moisture, basically, when you're active. And you're just going to fog within minutes of being on the field with something like this, okay? And fog is debilitating. I mean, it can blind you very quickly when you're playing paintball. And there's nothing worse or more dangerous than being blind on a paintball field, especially if you're in the woods or if you're, stumbling over things and you need to get off the field right away to avoid being shot multiple times. This thing can cause you a lot of problems. I've kind of run into that firsthand. So, it's okay for kids to play with. I give this thing to my kids to play with their Nerf guns now because that way they're not shooting each other right in the eyeballs with them, but other than that, this is a throwaway item. This is basically just 20 bucks that I could have lit on fire and thrown on the ground. I would not recommend this for paintball use at all. Maybe if you're playing indoor on an airsoft field or something like this might be okay. If you're just taking it really slowly and you're not exerting yourself to where you're going to sweat or get hot, fine. But other than that, I would not recommend this to anybody. So if you read reviews about this thing online at all and they're giving it 4 or 5 star reviews, don't believe it. Okay? This thing is just trouble waiting to happen. Don't bother with something like that one. What I would recommend is just going out and spending a little bit of extra money, doing some research. If you go out to A&S Gear or if you go out to like Hustle Paintball or Amazon.com, type in paintball mask in the search box, or if you click on the link or whatever, if they have limited search options, just don't do anything that doesn't have thermal coated lens attached to the description, okay? get a thermal coated lens no matter what. That's like your bottom line. You need to have a thermal coating on your lens. Don't feel like you have to spend a ton of money on a really good mask. I could say that you can get a good thermal coated lens anywhere from $50 on up to $150. You don't have to spend any more than that. And $150 sounds like a lot of money, and it really is for a paintball mask. But there are masks out there like the Dye I4s, or HK Army's new KLR mask is around $140 to $150. But they're definitely worth it. I4s are excellent masks. They're not necessarily for everybody, but they are excellent masks. I'm not knocking any of those kinds of masks at all. But don't feel like you have to spend that much money just to get a good, protective, and reliable mask. I personally tried on a pair of a Dye I4 mask that my friend has, and it wasn't big enough for me. It kind of didn't cover enough of my cheek on this side. It kind of has that arrowhead shape to it, so it's tapered down to a point, and it just didn't cover enough of my face. So for me, it wasn't an option. I did a lot of research online before picking my first thermal coated paintball mask, and I actually was really happy with my choice. I ended up getting kind of a middle of the road mask. I got the Slide Prophet, and these things are fairly common also. I see these a lot at my field that I play at, and I see them in a lot of paintball videos. I watch a lot of paintball videos. I see a lot of people wearing these masks. Some people make fun of them because they're kind of goofy looking compared to the I4s or some of the like the Vios and like the V-Force grills and stuff like that are out there. But it's a good, reliable, and really comfortable mask. It has a dual pane thermal coated lens. It doesn't actually come with the clear one. It comes with a shaded or smoked gradient lens like this one, reflective lens on there. So it kind of has that cool tactical look to it. The only reason I didn't keep this one on it, and I still do use it sometimes, but the only reason I don't keep it on most of the time is because it's darker up here, so it's shaded more up on top, and then it's more clear towards the bottom. And that works really well for bright sunlight, but I play in the woods a lot, so when I'm in the shade, it kind of causes some weird shadowing and glare issues. But I opted to get a clear lens replacement for it. You can buy these things pretty cheaply. They're around $20 to $30 for the replacement lenses. But the other thing I like about this one is I have a bigger head, and this thing fits me very well. I actually have to tighten the straps up a little bit, to make it fit better. And it has a dual strap system, which is really nice. One part kind of goes around towards the bottom of your head, and this one kind of wraps around the top of your crown up here. So it holds it in place better. It doesn't bounce around or anything. I don't need any chin straps or anything like that to hold it in place. The viewing angle is not the best. It's not as good as the I4s or the like some of the Tippmann masks have a really good view angle. This one's not the best viewing angle, but I've gotten used to it, so I kind of work around it. So something like this runs around $110 to $150 to $120 for the Slide Prophets, and they come in different colors, different patterns, different lenses. So really great mask for the money. So I'd recommend this to anybody. I wear this one the most, and really nothing else I can say about it. It's just a really great lens, really good padding. It has padding around the ears and around the eyes. It does get a little bit warm because of all the foam, and it's not the best ventilated mask here. You can kind of see the slots there aren't real big. It keeps the paint out, but it also keeps your breath in. So it's not the coolest ventilation system available for the higher end masks that are on the market, but not a big deal. So now that I had a good reliable mask, I started thinking, well, I really like to have a backup or a loaner or a mask that my wife can use if she wants to come to the field with me, because she does like to play too sometimes, or something I can give to my nephew or a buddy whose mask is maybe not functioning correctly. I like to have a backup mask. And I did pour a lot of research into it, and I didn't want to spend another $120 to get another Slide Prophet. I wanted something less expensive. So I set a budget for myself. I said I'd like to find something between $50 to $75 or $80 maximum. Did a lot of research, and I kind of found a classic mask that people have really given a lot of feedback about, and they've really just kind of sung the praises of this thing. This is the V-Force Profiler. Kind of an old school mask at this point. It's been around for a long time. Superior viewing angle on this thing. It's excellent. Really good frontal coverage. Kind of has that low profile side to it, so that kind of helps for people that like to use milsim markers. Kind of has that cheek open just a little bit, so you can rest your stock in next to your face a little bit closer. Has a single pane thermal coated lens, but I have not had any problems with fogging with this thing whatsoever, even though it's just a single pane lens. So don't necessarily believe everything you read about people saying, well, you absolutely have to have a dual pane lens. This thing has never fogged up on me, and I've used this in hot weather, high humidity. I let my nephew wear it for an entire day. He never had a single problem with fogging. Even when my Slide Prophet fogged up just a little bit, I had to clean it, and then that fixed the problem with Slide Prophet, and it was fine for the rest of the day. This thing never had a hitch once, okay? I wouldn't be mentioning, though, if there wasn't some sort of an issue with this particular mask. I read tons of reviews. I had a lot of feedback on this mask that I considered from people who had purchased it online. But the thing that they did not mention is that I have a larger head, as I think I had mentioned earlier. And this has just one strap, and the strap only comes on one side. It's very flexible. It stretches out very nicely, and it's fully adjustable. It has these two sliding clips on it that you can pull apart to extend it out. But even fully extended, this is a very snug fitting mask for me. I wear hats in like large to extra large if you just have the elastic band hats like this one. And for me, this is too small. It still fits. I can still put it on. In fact, I'll put it on right now. So I can still get it on just fine. Okay? Superior coverage from the front. You can see right now, from front on, there's no part of my face that is exposed. And even if I open my mouth all the way at the right angle, it's not going to hit the bottom of my chin or anything like that. Really good ventilation on this thing in the sides and in the very front. But the problem is, since it is a medium-sized mask with that strap on it, with the regular strap, having something compress your head for an extended period of time is going to give you a compression headache, is what I call it. I don't know if that's an actual term or not. But I wore this thing for a couple of hours the one day when I was at my field, or at the field that I go to, and having that snug fit for an extended period of time gave me a really gnarly compression headache, and it just kind of ruined the rest of my day. I had to take some medicine for it, and I switched back to my Slide Prophet for a while, but I ended up just, my head hurt so bad after a while that I just couldn't focus on the game, and I just wasn't having fun. I was getting really frustrated. Because I just felt terrible for the rest of the day, and I'd never experienced that with my Slide Prophet. With that, if I feel like it's a little too snug, or if it's kind of causing those problems with the tension, I can loosen it up a bit, and then it'll kind of take care of that problem for me. So, in all my extensive research or anything like that, I had not found anything where anybody had said that this was not good for people with a larger head. So, you're gonna run into that, because I had no way to try this thing on. Now, if I had known anybody that had this mask already, or if I had talked to somebody at the field in my other visits who had this, because I had seen this mask before, I'd seen people wearing a V-Force Profiler. It's a very popular mask that's been around forever. If I had just asked them if I could try theirs on, or if I could take a look at it, I would have known that, and I could have eliminated that. Or if I had a shop available within driving distance or something, within half hour, 20 minutes, or whatever, I could have tried one on at the store and ruled that out. So that's kind of a problem for people that don't have access to those types of stores. So I ended up spending $70 or $80 on this thing, and it's a good backup or loaner mask, but I can't really use it as it is right now. The strap does unclip from the inside of the mask, and then it kind of gets caught up on the entry point on this rubber fitting here. So I can detach it, but it's still not then secure, because that could pull through and then all of a sudden my mask could come flying off in the middle of a game or something like that, and then that's really dangerous as well. So you don't want to risk losing your mask just for the sake of comfort. If I could do it all over again, if I had been able to try this thing on, I probably wouldn't have bought it with that consideration in mind, knowing that it wouldn't be a great fit for me. Other than that, I'm really happy with it. I might do some more research online to see if I can get replacement straps or a larger strap for it, to see if then I can have a second mask that I can rely on. But for the time being, this is going to kind of be a sidelined item, and I can take it with me to the field, like I said, to loan to my friends or something like that, so they don't have to rent gear. But that's just one of the things that you have to be aware of when you're purchasing online. I kind of rambled on about this stuff. I wanted to keep the video short, but I don't think I can stress enough the safety considerations when you're purchasing equipment. You need to have something that fits well, something that's going to keep you comfortable, and that's going to be reliable on the field and won't fog up on you repeatedly, so that you're risking running into something or tripping in a ditch and then injuring yourself needlessly. So keep those things in mind when you're purchasing. Do your research, do your diligence, talk to other players at the field, see what equipment they're using, see if you can try it out, or see if you can handle it, or even try it on if they're not weirded out by you asking that. So keep those things in mind. Always make the most informed purchases that you possibly can, and don't settle for the cheapest thing. If it seems like it's too good of a deal to be true, then it probably is. And sometimes it's worth it just to go out and spend a few extra bucks to get something that's the next step up, that's a little bit better than what you've been looking at before. So that's really all I had to say about the masks today. I'll probably make a few more of these segments just talking about random pieces of gear that I have. And hopefully you guys will enjoy the videos, and I haven't rambled too much or made it too boring. So let me know what you think in the comments section below the video, and I'll try to put out a little bit more content, and hopefully we can go from there. Alright, thanks until next time, we'll see you in the field.